Air pollution consists of chemicals or particles in the atmosphere that pose serious health and environmental threats. But what causes air pollution, and what does it mean for our planet?
Because of this, in 1952, almost 12,000 people died of pollution-related illnesses. There are a number of factors that caused the killer fog. Rather tragically, it all started with the windless, cold climate of London in December, mixed with an anticyclone. Due to the cold weather, many residents of the Greater London area use coal to heat their homes, in doing so releasing highly poisonous particulates into the air above the city. These conditions created the perfect cocktail for a deadly thick smog. On the 4th of December, an anticyclone settled over London caused by the lack of wind, creating a lid of warm air over the cold air, thus producing a thick persistent smog. Without the breeze of fresh air, the soot from chimney smoke and vehicle exhaust fumes mixed with the smog, creating a yellow-black colour, which was nicknamed pea soup. The use of low quality coal further exacerbated the problem, as cheaper coal had higher levels of sulphur. Most homes couldn't afford the more expensive hard coals at the time. The amounts of particulates in the air was added to by the large power stations littered around central London. For example, Battersea Power Station, Lots Road Power Station and the Bankside Power Station, all of which were within 3.5 miles of Trafalgar Square. There are claims that the soot reducing measures at Battersea Power Station actually caused more sulphur to be expelled into the air, although this hasn't been confirmed. Reportedly, the air was so thick that you couldn't see more than a few metres in front of you, thus making driving and walking in London very dangerous indeed. Only the London Underground ran with some regularity, and the ambulance service completely ceased to function, meaning that patients had to transport themselves to hospital. As the smog continued into the second and third days, visibility reduced in some areas down to less than a metre during daytime, and at night, the incandescent street lamps had little to no light penetration. The smog even entered people's homes, and the theatres closed their doors due to being unbearable for audiences, which is saying something. As much as I love London theatres, they aren't the most comfortable places. The smog lasted from the 5th to the 9th of December, when winds finally blew the smog out into the North Sea, but the after effects lasted way longer. Initially, the increase in deaths was put down to an influenza epidemic, because at the time pea soup smog was fairly regular and many people didn't think much about the risks in breathing in the deadly polluted air. Only a few well-off people could afford proper gas masks. The original estimates from the government claimed around 4,000 people died as a direct result of the smog. Deaths attributed to the fogs were mainly pneumonia, bronchitis, tuberculosis and heart failure. Modern day figures pen the death toll at around 12,000, but worse still, around 100,000 people were said to have been affected by the smog, mainly by having respiratory related conditions for the rest of their lives. The Great Smog of London, as it was eventually known as, hastened the growing environmental movement and helped to change the people's attitudes towards effects of burning high sulphur and black smoke creating fuels. This eventually led to the Clean Air Act of 1956, which only permitted smokeless fuels to be used in certain areas within the city. Alternatives to coal for domestic heating only started to become popular in the 1960s, with gas and electric heating becoming more prevalent. Many of the large